Alright, we are back. So here's your breeding grass, and you don't have to teach me how to fly anymore. I think I'm getting the gist of it. Which, he lies. I want to fly. Please teach me to fly. Oh well. Alright, good to know. Now to know Kung Fu is to serve those in need. You've helped me, so go out and see if anyone else in town needs your help. So, excellent. Now we go out and we learn about gathering quests and NPCs. So that's kind of a clever way of doing it. You're a martial arts student, so your teacher is basically saying, okay, Ellie, you want to learn martial arts, you need to learn to be for the good of the people. That is what all state alchemists need to be. I mean martial artists. So we go out and we're going to go in search of someone that needs help. As we can see, the look around town is highlighted, so let's just click on that. Unfortunately, you're going to run into this a lot. Lots of gold selling spam. Oh my goodness, look at it permeate the air. Holy crap. Right on. Double jump. I'm just going to double jump. You know what, can I hit F9 and... I can clear out players. Now, players that are NPCs won't get cleared out by that F9 ability, I believe. Then players who are NPCs will do things like... town barkers, like, you know, like saying that, you know, this town or this person is the cheapest smith in town or something like that. Again, I think that's kind of cool because it makes the world kind of a living, breathing place. Oh, hello, John. Your kite got stuck on the roof. Alright, well, we'll get it back for you. You can't afford a new one? That's okay. Don't worry. We will help you. So I get to use my newfound double jumping skills and get to the roof. Check it out. We've found a kite. Let's help the poor little girl. Girl? Boy or girl? You know what? It's a young age. You can't really tell. I like kites and candies so much. Indeed you do. Here's your kite. Try to be more careful. That's just great. Everyone in town suddenly knows a stupid flying skill. I wanted some pity money, not the stupid kite. Don't you recognize a con when you see one? Ah, you mean, I thought... Well, thanks for the help, hero. Now I have to put this back on the roof again. I love it. I love it. You're basically told to go out into the world, help people, and the first person you help is an ungrateful little brat who's like, you know what? This was a con. You screwed it up. Thanks a lot, hero. Good job breaking it. Well, I get more spirit pills and blood clotting herbs, for my efforts at least. You are a terrifying little girl. Alright. Li Quan Ting. Items recovered. So that's pretty cool that it shows you the items you get for the quest, but that white box, as you've seen, often gets covered up by just the green text. It tells you what you've done. So that definitely needs cleaning up. So next we get to learn to help a cook, I guess, here. Come to the right place. Do you have anything to eat? So I can learn cooking, that's a profession. But let's see if he has anything to eat. If you're hungry, he's poor. Let's see if we can help each other. This is a part of my training. Of course it is. I get only a reputation for this one. That's okay. Let's see. Customers coming from. Running in short on supplies. Go to the hunter's place and ask him if he has any extra meat. Okay, sweet. So we will go to Dai Chang and get some meat for this guy. And it's on the other end of town. So... this auto-pathing thing, great, gets you from point A to B if you don't know where to go, but it doesn't take shortcuts into effect. If there's a way you can get there quicker, like say by double jumping, maybe going over a roof, or maybe there's actually a little narrow pathway that you can walk through normally, but the game doesn't recognize that as a pathable surface. So you might, like here, I went around this way and back up. If I were here and trying to go here, it might make me go all the way down, up, and around, when I could have just gone up and around this way a much shorter distance. So the auto-pathing isn't perfect. So you might still use your personal navigation skills to get from point A to point B, because you find that to be far more effective than using the automated system. Alright, so it says Chef Lee needs some fresh meat, and here I can learn to hunt. So you can actually hunt monsters in this, or creatures, whatever, and it will give you the ability to search for a particular type of creatures to hunt, like, you know, wolves or deer or something like that. I don't, again, haven't gotten too deep into that system, but I've done a little reading on their website, and it gives you kind of some insight into how some of this works. And I think it's pretty cool. Again, lots of really good systems. I said that a couple times now. And I believe it. I believe this game has some really nice ideas there. It's just it doesn't convey a lot of them very well and exactly what they can do for you. I had to do a lot of reading on the website to really track down how a lot of this works. And I almost wonder if some things are just too complex. But once you get used to it, I imagine it wouldn't be too bad. But that's just it. I'm kind of playing casually. I'm not super immersed in the game just yet, so I'm really trying to pick things apart and learn them as I go. I kind of feel like when I first started playing Final Fantasy XI, I was quite a bit younger then, of course, and 11 didn't really do a great job of explaining some things to you. And you kind of had to learn from other players and look up wiki articles. Well, actually, that was a time when there really weren't wiki articles. It was rough. You had to find some websites, you know, to really get what you needed. I mean, there was like very specific sites that people went to, and you just downloaded as much information as you could, and you tried to find what you could. And I feel like this game might have a similar vibe to it. Alright, so let's get some fresh meat. Do you have some? Wild dogs are running around. Oh boy, guess what we get to do? Could you drive a few away? Drive a few of the damn dogs away. Okay, so many of them. I'm not sure I can do it, but okay, speak with him again. So there, it's not entirely clear that I had to speak with him again, except for if I looked at the quest log. My natural assumption when I was done talking to him was to go out and look for dogs. And so when I first did this, I started looking for dogs, and I realized, oh wait, I needed to talk to him again. So I'm not sure why it took me out of conversation just to tell me to talk to him again. Again, slightly confusing. Not sure why they would have done it that way. So here, I get to learn to use weapons. So this is darts. It will take care of the dogs. You can give me more if we run out. So this is more training in the guise of questing. So it's an iron-tipped dart. It's a hidden weapon. I get 60 of them. It does 1-to-1 damage, and they're very effective against small animals. So we go ahead and right-click, and that equips it, I believe, on my character screen. Yep, there we go. Hidden weapon, tipped dart. And we go ahead and close that. Talk to him about the hidden blade again, so it'll be useful. Thank you. And by doing that, it tells me to learn how to use hidden weapons. So, kind of convoluted, kind of unnecessary steps here, really, but I can see where they're going with it and why they have you do it, is so you can kind of learn things as you go. Alright, so 1.5 second cooldown. It does 6 to 6 according to this, so we'll study. And normal dart, I'll go ahead and put here under 0. Click. Or under 9. There we go. Click. So my basic punch, 5 damage. This does 6. So this will do better against the dog. So let's go and find myself a dog. Or do I need to talk to him again? Yep, talk with Dai Chang again. Alright, go back. Okay, thank you for the book. Looks easier than I thought. Let's go hunt some dogs. Alright, I'm on it. Excellent. Okay, Novice Guide. Hidden weapons can only be aimed at targets in the open. You will not be able to attack targets obscured by obstacles, so line of sight rules are in effect. So if I click on use the dart to throw at the wild dogs. Okay, so I'm going this way. And again, kind of, there is exactly what I'm talking about. If I click on this, you can kind of see how it's going to go up and around, and it's just going in an awkward direction. I'm going to go ahead and go this way myself, and then we'll go left. Because I believe there are wild dogs along the path here. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump and go around this way rather than circle around that the auto-pathing wants me to do. I believe this starting zone, this early zone, will not have aggro for things like these guys here. I'm not going to take too many chances though, so we'll move around. Here we go. We're already at the wild dogs. See, much shorter by doing this myself, so I will go ahead and click on it. I will continue to use it. And as you can see, it's very effective. He's close up, so I'm just going to punch him a bit. Oh, he's parrying, so let's go ahead and use the Oh. The dog is parrying. I find that funny. Well, he's kind of blocking. You can't really see it. There you go. Bite me. Alright, let's go ahead and use the hidden blade again. Yeah, does much more damage. It even tells you there. It's like, hey, this is useful against this type of enemy, so you should use it. So tab targeting does work. I hit tab and it lets me cycle through targets, but we're just going to go ahead and throw daggers at this dog. Okay, I got a dog tooth. Can be showed to a stop. Shot for 2 win. Let's go ahead and loot all. So I haven't talked about this before. At the top you'll see that someone has violated the law and been arrested. You can kidnap other players. I mentioned that before. If a player is AFK, you can use paralyzing powder on them to steal them away and sell them to somebody for money. That player then gets some kind of debuff, I believe, while they're when they come back for a few hours. I don't remember what it does. I don't remember if it was any serious penalty. I don't think it hindered me in any real way. But you can do other things, attack other players and things like that, and eventually you can get a bounty on your head. You kill another player, they can easily put a bounty on you, and then other players can become constables and hunt you down. And so if you get killed by a constable, you will get put into jail, and you can be put on death row. Again, this is something I had to read about because I didn't get a lot of information, and of course, obviously, I'm not going to go out and start attacking players willy-nilly in the beginning. In fact, you're kind of protected from it. You have to reach a certain level until you can start doing stuff like that. So, again, really neat idea. Okay, so I killed the wild dogs. Not bad. Alright, give me my fresh meat. Thank you. Let's go. Getting closer. We are 75% of the way done with this tutorial quest. Hopefully we'll be able to get to the point where I can choose a school before we end this. And that is what I'm hoping for. We will not be choosing a school this time around simply because there's a lot of information to go over there, and I will want to spend my time on that to go over that. So now I finally get... So we talked about this before. He told me how to cultivate, or made sure I'm cultivating, and now they're finally telling me how to cultivate. So I've helped some. What do I do now? Internal skill is the foundation of all your other abilities. I need to improve it. So how do I cultivate? Looks like I'm getting some blood clotting herbs. That's fine. All right, internal cultivation. Cultivate. Oi, friend Laven. I see. So we click on cultivate, and now I have to click on the martial art. And then I can choose an ability. In this case, we're going to be choosing self-recollection. That makes perfect sense because it's a self-buff. It is probably one of the best things you can cultivate right away. And we'll go ahead and click on that. We're going to choose internal cultivation. And with this method, it basically starts taking the experience I have and giving it to that skill. I'm now cultivating it, and I'll notice the glowing icon. Congratulations, other techniques can be cultivated as well. So there we go. That skill now is gaining experience. You can see it's 750, and every few minutes it's going to go up, and it's going to eventually get to level 2. The internal cultivation is just a way of, well, you can see that ties into the VIP system. It's just a way of taking the experience you're getting naturally every few minutes and putting it into the skill directly. You can speed this process up through practicing, which takes certain items. And lastly, the best way to practice skills is to do team practice. This will, as far as I know, this isn't a PvP system. This is actually literally you and a bunch of other players are trying to practice a skill. You hit a few buttons, I believe, you practice it, and it speeds up dramatically how quickly you learn experience for a skill. But you can only do this so many times a day. Beyond that, you have to spend gold to speed up any further or be a VIP. Alright, let's go ahead and close that and continue on. I've done it. It's time to broaden my horizons. I have much to learn, but I'm ready to study at one of the 8 schools. Huan Yon, the coachman outside of town, will tell me more. So thank you, Shifu. Thank you. So we're pretty much done here at this point. We will be going to the coachman. He will be telling me about the 8 major schools. Now, what I want to tell you about this before I go into this, since I will be going over the 8 schools in the next video, is that the school I pick will dictate my starting weapon and skills that I have. It will also help me to cultivate those skills and give me certain quests. I can, as this character, because you can only have one character per server, I can learn every skill in the game. Some skills will be bought in the cash shop. Some skills will be learned through script stealing. So you'll basically be able to do quests to steal scripts from other schools and learn their capabilities. You'll eventually be able to use pretty much every weapon. So you essentially will level in this game by using the weapons and abilities that you want. You cultivate those weapons and abilities, and it's... I almost want to say Skyrim-esque, but not, because the cultivation that you do, you don't have to use the skill. Like, I'm right now cultivating this recollection, right? I don't have to use it at all. I could ignore it. I could be using a different skill, but still cultivating it to make it stronger. Let's say I had a normal fist attack and a sword attack, right? Let's say I got a sword and I use that instead of a fist. I could still cultivate the fist. I'm not using it, but I can make it stronger if I want. So I don't have to use it to do it, but you can only cultivate one skill at a time. So you look at this here, you can see one skill at a time. And this looks like in 2 more minutes we'll finally hit level 2. And if I go into here, let's go into the skill trees, our skills here. K button is the skills. I'm going to go into... which one is it? Here we go. And it looks like it doesn't actually tell me what the boost is. All the others do, though, don't they? Hold on, I'm trying to find out. That's odd. They did. Okay, this one does. Yeah, see, these will show me what the cultivation does. You can see by the arrow pointing down. This one does not. Maybe it's because... No, this is an internal skill. Huh. Interesting. Well then, I don't know what to make of that. But we can see here at least that the maximum level is 20, so we know that's how that works. So, yeah. Again, lots of cool ideas. Lots of cool ideas. The only thing that kind of bugs me, I'd say, is the dependency on cash. Now, again... I would really say this is more of a demo than a free-to-play. It's kind of awkward that way because you really are losing out a lot. But again, you do not... Okay, continue cultivization. You know what? Just that's a new word now. It's done. It's in the dictionary. You can play the game reasonably as much as you want. You're just going to have a slower leveling curve. Because you can only level this way. Now, again, there's multiple ways of leveling skills, so I'm not sure how much it's going to slow you down. It is a 30% reduction if you're not a VIP through standard methods, but again, I've already shown you that there's not just the standard methods, there's also practicing and team practice. So there's lots of ways to do it. And you are still gaining these skills while you're offline. So... I'd say it's up to you if you want to try that. I mean, there's no loss in going out and trying it. You don't have to give them any information other than making an account to play the game. Since this is the end, we're winding down. Let's go over the cash shop real quick, because that is definitely something that a lot of people are going to be concerned about. It's like, oh, oi, what am I paying for? Am I paying for power? Well, we've already talked about, yes, you kind of are. You are paying to level up your skills. So you've got that, but... anything that you use gold for appears to be for helping to speed that along, and the only items I've found so far are cosmetic, and a few boosters, right? So you've got some skills here. There are some skills you buy from the shop. 99 gold, so what was that? 10 gold is $3, so 100 gold, it's about $30 to get this skill. I don't think you can get this skill any other way than to get it here. This is the 7 thefts to ensnare the soul. This is new. I know this is on their webpage, being released as a brand new skill. So there are skills that you have to pick up, I guess. That's interesting. I don't know what to think of that. I mean, it's kind of cool that there are some skills that you can only get this way, but then I have to wonder, how's the balance on that? I mean, obviously... it needs to be balanced to make it so that you're not paying for pure domination. and I haven't looked into that skill yet to know exactly what it does, so unfortunately I can't tell you. But you can look at these. There's costumes. You can click on these and you'll see them on the left. They'll appear for 10 gold. Again, that's pretty cheap. Again, $3 you get a costume. But here's a downside. Much like a game out of, say, Perfect World or something like that, you have time limitations on some of these. So you look at this, and you've got a 30-day timer on it. So if I buy this, I can only use it for 30 days. For a cosmetic item, I don't really agree with that system. I know it's only $3, but then again, I've seen costumes from other games that are like only $3, and you know, you get to keep them. If I'm going to buy any of these costumes, I want to be able to keep it and keep using it. I suppose the reason they do it is to be able to keep getting money if you want to keep using the costume, but they already have a VIP system in place where they're basically asking you for money for a subscription fee. So this right here kind of turns me off a bit. I mean, I might be inclined to buy a costume at some point to look really cool, but if I'm only going to have it for 30 days, that hurts. You know, it makes me not want to get it. Now, I don't know if there is a way to get gold in game. The gold is pretty much the real money currency. I know that you can trade gold for the in-game currency, which is like the Win and Liang's. You can trade the stuff you pay cash for the in-game money. So that is one way of doing it, but I have not found a way of doing it in reverse. So like in Neverwinter, for example, I could go and I earn the in-game currency Astral Diamonds, I can convert them to the real money currency Zen, and vice versa. In this game, I haven't found a way to do that. Other things you can buy are mounts. Mounts are also time-locked, 30 days on these. So you do get it for a whole month, but again, you're looking at like $6 for a mount for a month. And then lastly, there are boosters here, like a mining manual, for example. For 30 days, you will get double mining materials from every mining node that you encounter. So standard free-to-play microtransaction stuff going on here. Everything looks to be the minimal price you're going to be paying is like $3. It looks like. I can't really see anything that's less. The only things that are less are experience cultivation. So I don't know, a little pricey in my opinion on some things, but at the end of the day, I can't really say how I feel about it unless I were to get to the end game. For example, in Neverwinter, I was very favorable about the game until I found out about the rune system, in which it required a lot of money to get high-end runes, which allowed players to gain dominance for a good period of time, honestly. It takes a lot of time to get the runes up if you're not paying money. So while you can eventually catch up, the time variance was bad. And in this game, skills can only go up to level 20. But how long does that take? That's a good question. The good news is there's a cap on the skill points, so you know you will eventually catch up. It's not like you can keep cultivating a skill and it will gain levels and levels ad infinitum. And you know, it's not going to go on endlessly. So that's good. I suppose at this point I'll go ahead and end it. We'll close this off. This is the beginning, all the way through the tutorial until the point you choose a school, at which point you'll be leaving the opening city and going to whatever school you choose, and that will be your new starting hub. Hopefully you found this interesting, entertaining, and don't mind the fact that I've flubbed almost every other word out of my mouth tonight. And again, you want to try it out. It's Age of Wushu. I do believe it's ageofwushu.com. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the video description, and you can try it out there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I think as I go to log out, there might be one more thing that it tells me here. Nope. That's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.